Hi everyone, Comic Reviewer here, this time reviewing on Sonic the Hedgehog 2020 film review. Now, I think a lot of us know what Sonic the Hedgehog was. It originally started as a video game back in 1991 for the Sega Genesis, arcades, Game Boy Advance, Nintendo Switch, and various other consoles, and also started as a comic book series by Archie until being passed by IDW, and eventually Sonic the Hedgehog had got its own movie. Now, the premise of the movie is meant to be about Sonic, who, after escaping from a tribe of echidnas who are after his power, his guardian Longclaw sends him basically to the planet Earth, and at the same time, throughout all the years, has managed to live in solitude and kind of become a bit of an outcast, and at the same time is amazed by this couple, which you have Tom, who is kind of the sheriff of Green Hill Zone, and wants to kind of step up his game. And you've got his wife Maddie, who is a veterinarian and does show support for Tom. Now, after an incident that happens with Sonic using his powers, he ends up attracting the military, and of course, the military trusts Dr. Robotnik. Now, Dr. Robotnik in this film, I would say, is obviously meant to be a bit of a counterpart to Sonic. He's meant to be a bit of an outcast himself and revels in it. He's meant to sort of be a bit more hypocritical, vengeful, arrogant, and a bit more conniving. And at the same time, you've got his henchman, who is meant to be Stone. Now, Stone, I would say, is a bit like Sniffly from Sonic Sat-Am. He's basically the lackey, gets pushed around, and constantly gets berated, ridiculed, and treated poorly by Robotnik. Now, the differences, I would say, is Sniffly in Sat-Am does show some signs that he gets annoyed with Robotnik and insults him behind his back. The difference, I would say, is Ancient Stone does take it like a trooper and does kind of tolerate it to some degree. So throughout the movie, we see how Tom and Sonic come together, and we kind of see how they're a bit of a two of a kind. They both feel like they want to prove something, and both want to be something bigger. I feel the point of Sonic is that he's not meant to be completely arrogant, not too hot-headed, but a bit more of the voice of, talking about, what he wants to do, and is meant to try and find his own path. And I think what makes the road trip between them work is about them coming together as friends. And I think that, to me, the plot with Sonic coming to Earth does remind me a bit of Sonic X. I think the reason I would say Tom is a bit better than Chris, I would say Chris is a bit more like the anime character with a purpose, while Tom is that character you can kind of relate to. Tom is meant to kind of want to do something bigger, to kind of prove to people for something else. And I do think when you've got the conspiracy theorist Crazy Joe, I kind of feel you could have also had a blogger on YouTube to sort of show the sightings of Sonic. And I kind of feel you could have had Christina V. I felt you could have had the YouTuber who did the Sonic and Mario swap personalities, because it would have been interesting to get a Sonic fan to sort of be that kind of blogger. And I would say what's also interesting is Gary Chalk, who was basically the previous voices for Grounder and Robotnik back in Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog and Underground, does voice one of the US officers. So it goes from basically being from animated form to doing a live action Sonic movie, which actually isn't a bad idea. And I would say what I do like about the Sonic movie, it does sort of imply that we might be getting when the sequel does come, we might get Knuckles as the next main antagonist, which I'm actually hoping for, because it would be interesting to see them do something else with the other characters. And I do admit changing Sonic's design made sense, because the original version looked a bit too realistic, while this one keeps more true to what the film or the games and the comics were. So I feel by the end of it, Sonic the Hedgehog strapped on its shoes, speed through, and became the blue brick blur he was meant to be. So in general, a thumbs up. Still good, and still alright. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.